What's up, metal and heavy music fans? It's FlightOfIcarus again with MetalTrenches.com. As always, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Today, we're going to focus on Swedish progressive death metal band Meshuggah. So let's get into it. Alright, so we're going to start with the oldest and probably closest comparison on this list, which is UK band Intensive Square. Now, from what I can tell, these guys are no longer active, but their 2016 album, Anything That Moves, is pure Meshuggah spirit through and through. It's pretty stripped back, has a certain roughness to the production that I really like because it kind of reminds me of their earlier albums. And again, it's sad that they don't seem to have any plans to follow this up. I've kind of like coasted around looking at their social media accounts and I haven't seen a post since like 2017. But in any case, it's definitely worth a listen regardless. And there's no time like the present to enjoy an album that you probably missed. All right, next we've got Budapest-based extreme groove metal crew Omega Diatribe with their latest record Trinity via Metal Scrap Records. Now with this one, kind of think Meshuggah mixed with more like Living Sacrifice. This album is intently focused on groove along with vaguely tribal sounding drumming, which is definitely kind of a standout element of their overall approach. There's a very kind of patented 90s, early 2000s vibe to the music, a certain bleakness, less is more attitude. And Trinity is definitely their most accomplished album to date. I've been impressed with these guys for a few years now with a couple of releases, but this one really stepped things up. Compositions are more thoughtful and memorable, and damn, do they pack a punch. The entire album is basically a try not to move your head challenge. So overall, Omega Diatribe's funk-heavy aesthetic seeps into your veins and infects you with an unshakable need to bob your head and tap your feet. Definitely check them out. Alright, then we've got progressive death metal with some regional influences from India's Dark Helm. This is a band I believe I did a review for not too long ago, and it's a pretty interesting crossbreed of bands that I've been listening to over the years. So if you kind of take Meshuggah's groovy riffs and then Born of Osiris's kind of Eastern influence synthesizers with a dash of Tool post-metal interludes, you have something resembling this album, which is called Hymnus de Antitheus. The band largely focuses on heavy, djenty, and highly infectious guitars alongside gravely death vocals. But also, to switch things up, there's some more sort of traditional progressive metal on tracks like Lost Laments. The whole thing has a very 2000s vibe that had me thinking back to days when I would often listen to the likes of Sevendust, A Perfect Circle, and again, Meshuggah, of course, all in one sitting. Good times. And last, but certainly not least, we have French progressive death metal band Barus with their debut full-length via Memento Mori. This is probably the most aggressive band on this list. Basically think Meshuggah meets Ulcerate and Gorguts. So this album Drowned is like a journey down mysterious passageways, chasing formless phantoms through thick fog, and just only catching an occasional glimpse out of the corner of your eye. Barus combine the djenty death metal of old school Meshuggah with the atmosphere of a more laid-back Ulcerate to join the worlds of death, doom, prog, and post-metal all together. Some similarities to sort of what I was saying with Dark Helm, but this definitely goes even more kind of like a Deathspell Omega route at times. And it's easy to get lost in this nearly hour-long labyrinth, not unlike some twisted crossbreeding of Gorguts and emptiness, with maybe just a touch of Portal for good measure. So with all those references in mind, yes, this one seems like maybe it's a bit of a stretch, but given the clear influences and foundations I heard on the EP that came out before this that initially brought Barus to my attention. They warrant your attention on this list. And honestly, it would be pretty boring if all 4 of these bands were just carbon copy clones. And that'll do it. That's it. That's the list. So definitely hop down to the description. Check all these bands out. They're excellent. I'm a big Meshuggah fan, as you can probably tell, and anyone who can kind of take that sound and take it in new directions is okay by me. And extra shout out to Car Bomb, which I considered including on this list, but I've already got them in a roundup, and I may even be doing an interview. We'll see if that pans out. So I just felt like I would focus on these sort of more unknown groups. But that'll pretty much do it. Again, please do subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Follow us on social media, sign up for our mailing list, and please consider just giving $1 a month to our Patreon or Subscribestar. It really helps me cover the overhead costs and also expand and do other cool things with this channel. But for now, this is Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.